Patricia Gibson.
Against women born on or after the 6th of April 1951. The fact is, as we all agree, women have not been given a fair notice to prepare and manage their plans and finances for an additional number of years before receiving their state pension. And many women in my constituency of North Ayrshire and Arran are genuinely alarmed, they are genuinely worried about their financial future due to the lack of preparation time they've had. And as has been said, and it bears repeating, life expectancy across the UK is not uniform, and this creates complexities when discussing this issue. But I want to say something, Mr Chair, that has been hinted at but not explicitly said today. It is a real shame, it is a real disappointment that that fantastic crusader for people of pension age, Baroness Aldman, has allowed herself to be effectively neutralised by her ennoblement. Many women face the real prospect of cancelling retirement plans after a lifetime of work, and that goes against the grain of natural justice, and it demands to be addressed because it is a breach of contract. A DWP research report in 2004 found that only 43% of those women affected were able to identify their own state pension age as being 65 years or between 60 and 65 years. And this low figure was identified as a cause for real concern, showing that information about the increase in the state pension was, quote, not reaching the group of individuals who arguably have the greatest need to be informed. Levels of awareness were even lower among women who were economically inactive or in routine and manual occupations, standing at a mere 36%. The fact is, women born in the 1950s have been affected by significant changes to their state pension age with a lack of appropriate notification, with little notice and much faster than promised. And this can only have one outcome, and that is straitened financial circumstances for women as they frantically try to prepare and replan retirement. And with retirement a further 4, 5 or even 6 years further away than they originally thought, this is not just financially challenging. This is cruel. This is cruel and heartless. And all of this, as has been said, in the context of a lifetime of low pay and inequality faced by far too many women and the old age problems that are a cumulative effect of that. Just briefly.
Thank you for that. You talk about the lack of planning that's left for women. Now, in the chamber earlier on today, one of the fallback measures the Minister suggested is that women can use pension freedoms. So does that not only show a lack of understanding that women are less likely to have a pension, a private pension that can cash in, but to actually suggest they should be cashing it in to help them get by these few years is absolutely irresponsible. Absolutely.
I concur with everything that my colleague has said. Clearly, and despite the lack of action, the government knows there's a problem, because we know that the previous coalition minister, Steve Webb, the pensions minister, admitted that the period of notice being given to some women was, quote, the key issue. And he further went on to indicate that he recognised that not everyone affected by the 1995 Act had been aware of it. And government must take responsibility for that. Why did it not act in this matter earlier to ensure that those women affected were fully informed? Why were women left in the dark, blissfully unaware that their retirement plans would lie around them in financial ruins? Now, the campaign of Women Against State Pension Inequality have run an excellent campaign, and their call on the government to make fair transitional state pension arrangements for 1950s women is one that we in the SNP fully support in the interests of natural justice. Fairness is all that's been called for here today, and I take exception to the fact that somebody said, I think it was a member for Gloucester who said it would cost £30 billion. Well, I would put out the challenge to anybody who would make that case. What is most worthwhile funding? Weapons of mass destruction, or ensuring that our people have dignity as they approach pension age? So for the government has not listened to these calls so far. They've avoided it, they've obfuscated. And I would urge them, I'm just in my final seconds, the government has not listened, they've not responded, despite the huge outpouring of public feeling, not just among those women affected, but by a society that knows that this is unjust. And I urge the government to respond to these calls now.
Before we continue the debate, order. Could I just say that interventions I can't stop, but interventions